Jeep just recalled over 1 million Wranglers and Gladiators for a fire risk, and the fire can start even with the engine completely off. Stellantis looked into this back in 2023 and closed the case. 51 fires and 1 injury later, the federal government forced them to reopen it real quick. If you're tired of car companies selling you a payment plan and hiding the problems, smash that like button. It helps more people see the truth. And if you don't want to miss the next one, subscribe. All right, let's get into it.
Jeep is recalling over 1 million Wranglers and Gladiators, and here's why. Stellantis just issued the recall, covering 1,076,999 Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator vehicles from model years 2021 through 2025. It's roughly 787,000 Wranglers and 289,000 Gladiators. And the issue stems from the electric hydraulic power steering pump wiring, which can overheat and cause a vehicle fire, even when the vehicle is parked with the ignition completely off. Now, the NHTSA has confirmed 72 fires and 1 injury linked to this issue, and Jeep is advising all affected owners to park outside and away from structures until the repair is completed. Now, to put this into perspective before everyone freaks out, Jeep estimates only 0.1% of vehicles actually have the defect, so the vast majority of owners will not have an issue. Owner notification letters are expected to start going out next month, and if you have a 21 through 25 Wrangler or Gladiator, you can check your VIN right now on the NHTSA website to see if your vehicle is affected, and of course, the repair will be done at Jeep dealers at no charge. So there's no need to wait for the letter. You can go check your VIN today. Let me know what you guys think.
Calling all my Jeep girlies and guys. Jeep is currently under a huge lawsuit. It is specifically for the Gladiator or the Wrangler. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm not a Jeep girly. I wish I was, though. So basically, there was something wrong with the steering wheel and the suspension. So right now, there is a humongous class action lawsuit. If you've owned either of those in the last couple of years, you're going to want to go to claimmoney.com and you're going to want to join the lawsuit. Any questions, let me know.
So we got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Jeep Wrangler 4xe models that have been bought back due to the lemon law. These trucks have had tons of issues that couldn't be fixed by the dealerships, and therefore they have been bought back by the manufacturers.
Over 1 million Wranglers and Gladiators, and the defect is serious enough that it can catch fire with the engine completely off, just sitting in your driveway. 51 confirmed fires. 1 person hurt. There's already a class action lawsuit stacking on top of the recall for steering and suspension defects. And it's not just a recall. Jeep has bought back at least 4 separate Wrangler 4xe hybrids under lemon law because dealerships couldn't fix them at all. When the manufacturer would rather refund the truck than repair it, that tells you the problem isn't small.
Welcome back. Let's talk Jeep reliability. Specifically, I have the Gladiator. The Pentastar, everybody knows it's a fine, crafted, handmade, precision instrument of an engine. Y'all know that's not true. So about 25,000 miles ago, I got that nice lifter tick that everybody gets. When I purchased this vehicle, I knew about the issues, and I purchased the lifetime warranty for the life of the loan. So luckily this was covered under warranty. I'm currently at 109,000 miles. This developed around 80,000 miles. The engine finally came in. And so next time y'all see this thing, it's gonna have a new heartbeat. Now, I haven't taken it easy on it. We've taken this thing off-roading since then. I've pulled a camper across different states. We've been hard on it. I've rescued another vehicle that I pulled it off a trail for 6 hours. So this thing hasn't let me down. It's just making some extra noises. Next time I see y'all, we'll have it hopefully fixed.
All right, Dad. So we had a lady, we actually had multiple people that have asked our opinion on Jeep Gladiators. Got one in the shop?
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
We always have one in the shop, in one way or another.
At least this engine, yeah.
Well, yeah, this engine. That's the problem with them, is the engine. I mean, they're just not good, reliable engines. Like, let me start this one up. This car here. Come here. Let's show you something. I mean, look at this thing. This thing's pretty. I mean, this is a nice looking vehicle. Nice seats.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, if you got in this thing, I mean, yeah. I mean, this would be a fun vehicle to take down to the beach. There's some surfboards in here, you know. But the problem is that, am I going to get back home or even get to the beach because the engines are no good? Let's see
How many miles?
44,675 miles on this vehicle.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go on out there and listen to it. Look at the smoke coming out of the engine. Smoking like crazy. You hear the noise?
Oh yeah.
That's not your, I mean, these things are notorious for the valve train, for camshafts, for wear out and all that. This isn't that.
He just did all those.
This is, yeah, this has had camshaft and lifters put in it. Rockers, I think he put in it. And what's wrong with this one is the piston is binding up. That's what we're hearing, you know, piston slack in there. And it's got the cylinder all torn up. And so, yeah, I mean, and this is not like, this is almost getting to the point, I mean, I hate to even say this, but this is almost getting to the Kia level of failures.
Oh, wow.
How often we see these things. So, I mean,
So your opinion is not high.
I think that they're a nice looking interior. I think that they could be a good vehicle if they fix the motors in them.
Yeah.
They get something where this thing will last, you know, like the old Jeeps used to go, which, I mean, I know that's going back in time and I'm gonna get a lot of comments on that, but
So at this point, it's not a recommended vehicle
no.
right now, unless they fix something in the near future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep.
Listen, don't buy no Jeep Wrangler.
You know what? Cancel Jeep as a whole dealership. I have a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk edition. I bought this car in 2021, 0 mileage from the dealership, drove it off the lot. 6 months of me having this car, I had to take it back to the dealership and they said I had to get a new engine, a whole new engine on a brand new car. Then they gaslit me into thinking that was normal because they found that there was other Jeep Cherokees that had the same issue. They had my car for 2 months. 2 months I didn't have this car. They were placing a new engine in it. On my second year of having this car, my button, like the push to start button, it got stuck. This button. I was in the middle of DC and I had a car that will not turn off, running out of gas. I could not pump gas in it because I never pumped gas in my car while it was on. Again, I got gaslit into thinking this was normal. Hell no.
Even the mechanic who works on these all the time gives it a low grade. This one's got a piston binding and the cylinder torn up, and he says it's getting close to Kia level failure rates. Another owner drove hers off the lot with 0 miles and needed a brand new engine within 6 months. And when she asked what was going on, the dealership's answer was basically, this happens to a lot of these, it's normal. That's not customer service, that's an admission.
Did anybody else's Jeep just decide to shut down on them driving today? Because mine just did, and also my friends did the same thing today. My Jeep told me to pull over safely, and it just stopped moving on me, so I was stopped on a busy street, and I'm waiting to get towed now. But I think something's going on with Jeep, so I have a few strong words with you. And okay, it's not just a coincidence that me and my friend had the same issue, so who else has been affected by this, and what is this? Because this ain't it. I'm just a girl. I don't need to deal with this.
So we got a rental, right? And it's this bad boy. It looks really nice from the inside and outside. And I ain't gonna lie, the first few days, I was like, man, maybe I'll consider getting one. And I was on the verge of like, you know, I think I'll get one. But then the third day comes along, and that's when I remembered why I've always been told that Jeeps are straight booty. And it's all electrical issue. So number one, my wife was driving it. She put it on reverse. Backup camera completely blew for the whole day. The backup camera was not working at all. And I was like, all right. The following day, it went away and it's back working like normal, right? And I'm like, all right, maybe it was just a little bug, nothing too crazy. I'm driving and I'm going about 45 miles per hour, and the freaking brake assist decides to go off. It just decided to brake while I was going 45 miles per hour. Luckily, it disengaged real quick and I was able to get back my speed. But imagine if I had someone in the back tailgating me, that would have been real bad. So that was my second red flag. And mind you, this is in a course of 5 days of having this car. And the third thing, well, actually the second thing should have been the major red flag, but the third thing that happened, I was like, you know what, I'm taking this thing back to Rental Center or Enterprise. I don't even know where we got the car from. One of them joints is yesterday morning I'm going to church, right? Put the car in reverse, whoop, backs up. And when I go put it in drive, it just goes into lock mode. It just, I don't know, the drive doesn't engage. I don't know what the hell was going on. So I was moving the shifter from park to drive, from park to drive. I had to do that like 5 times, but it finally decided to respond. And I was like, you know what, I'm done. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on my way to return this to Enterprise. I think that's what it is. And I'm just gonna go get me like something else. Oh, and for those people that are saying, oh, it's because it's a rental car. I don't care. This thing has 14,048 miles. It shouldn't be doing that. Look. It shouldn't be doing that. Because these cars are not worth it. It's not worth risking my life. And I can see a lawsuit happening in the near future. So if you're planning on buying a 2026 Jeep Wrangler, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth your life. It is not worth your life.
Big news from Jeep. If you or anyone you know drives a Jeep, you have to listen up. So please make sure you tag a Jeep owner. Share this with your friends or family, whoever's driving one. So let's get into it. Jeep Cherokee is recalling over 61,000 SUVs because of power transfer unit can fail internally. So more specifically, the issue involves excessive heat, internal gear damage inside the PTU assembly. As the gears and bearings wear down, the unit can seize or mechanically fail, which can interrupt power being transferred from the transmission to the driveline. So if this happens, the vehicle could suddenly lose power while driving or even roll away while it's parked if the driveline disconnects. Some owners, what you might start to notice is a grinding or whining noise, drivetrain vibration, binding while turning, warning lights, burning smell, all within that drivetrain area. So affected vehicles are going to be certain 2019 through 2023 Jeep Cherokees. You should start getting notices in the mail. Certainly reach out to your dealer if you have any questions. Drop a comment, and again, share this with whoever you know has a Jeep.
Hey, what's up everybody? Excuse my face. I got whopped in the eye with a tree while playing in the woods yesterday at home. So let me tell you about this 2021 Jeep. This guy came in as a no start, okay? During diagnostics, I saw that I finally got it to start. I jumped power to it and immediately would lose power. It was acting like it had a bad alternator, right? So first thing I did was I changed the battery in the alternator and I still couldn't start it all of a sudden. So then the auxiliary battery on this sucker, the BCM, okay? So your main battery on here starts the vehicle with the alternator, and then there is a relay that's going to switch the power from the battery to the auxiliary battery, and that's going to run all the modules in the vehicle. So if your auxiliary battery doesn't work, you're in for a fucking treat. Nothing's going to work. I'd get initial voltage at like 11 volts, and then it would start to drop all the way down to like 7 volts, and everything would go haywire in the Jeep. Now, when I changed the auxiliary battery, I saw there was a bunch of water in the bottom of the battery container. So that was a red flag right there. And knowing how these Jeeps are, it only had 20,000 miles on it. So there was no way it should have all these electrical problems. So what I think happened is that water got into the auxiliary battery and started making everything short out, because the alternator was bad, the main battery was bad, the auxiliary battery was bad, but then even after I replaced all those, I started to realize is that the fucking tip-em right here, here's the old one, see, all of those main relays are actually wired into the motherboard. So these are what controlled it. N3 was the main relay that would switch the power from your battery to your auxiliary battery down here and let the PCM take over everything. Well, none of that was working. Yes, I was getting voltage, but it wasn't telling the alternator to then charge the auxiliary battery. So I was still having complete electrical failure. So I had to call Dodge on Friday, got them to order a new tip-em. It was a prayer. It was a prayer because I was like, everything else had been changed. That was the only major electrical component that hadn't been changed yet, but everything had fried out. So it only made sense that needed to be changed. And I just put that bad boy in, and we are holding at 14.2. I'm so happy. It's been a rough week. I'm so happy. So just know that anybody working on Jeeps 2021, number one, you cannot access the gateway system without auto off, okay? So you're gonna have to validate that in order to access the system. You won't be able to do anything but read. You can't test shit, okay? And just know that auxiliary battery is super important, and any kind of electrical failure, make sure you check that tip them, okay?
Two friends, same day, same failure. Cars just telling them to pull over and dying in traffic. A rental with 14,000 miles that randomly slammed the brakes at 45 and then got stuck locked between park and drive. And it's not just Gladiators and Wranglers. Jeep recalled 61,000 Cherokees for a power transfer unit that can seize entirely, cutting power while driving or letting the vehicle roll away on its own when parked. Same brand, same theme. The connection between go and the wheels actually moving keeps failing. And a mechanic finding actual water pooled inside a 20,000-mile battery box, frying the entire electrical system on top of it.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm sitting in my 2020 Jeep Gladiator, and I know, it's a Jeep. But let me just show you some of these things that make total sense with my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I especially love this feature. The broken sun visor. The redesigned dashboard. Really nice, except the fact that they had to take it apart a couple times because our power mirrors stopped working. I especially love the side door pockets that you can't put anything heavier than a feather in. What the hell? And this new paint feature that I just recently discovered. We have discoloration around the hinges and rust forming. More rust. And I know this one is not technically related to the car, but these broken key fobs, it doesn't want to stay down. It'll just continually pop out over and over again. That's about as far as we can get it in. That's what she said. But yeah, they don't make cars like they used to. The interiors are cheaper. Like, they focus so much on the technology that they're missing out on other stuff. But thankfully, we have not had many mechanical issues, and we've only had one recall, and that was for a software update. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to get the other stuff addressed under warranty and get it all taken care of.
Guys, I'm in America. I've got an American car. This is the worst car I've ever had in my life. Honestly, who thought it was a good idea to get a Jeep Wrangler? It's the worst drive I've ever had. It was dead scary, and apparently it's because of the big wheels that the steering wheel is really loose and I don't like it, and it rattles and it's loud. I thought I'd live the American dream, like in like a red Jeep Wrangler, but no, it's not fun. I don't like it. Where's my tiny little British Mini?
Is the Jeep Gladiator the worst truck on the market right now? Okay, second worst. But seriously, if you were shopping for a truck right now, why would you buy a Gladiator over like a Tacoma or a Ranger or even a Ford Maverick or really any other truck? First of all, the Gladiator is just bad looking. I don't know why exactly. The Wrangler is a good looking SUV, but the Gladiator is just terrible. Something about slapping a truck bed on the back of a Wrangler just kind of ruins what makes a Wrangler look cool. I don't even really know how to explain it. It just doesn't look right. But then the truck itself is just really unreliable. You have engine problems, you have electrical gremlins, you have transmission problems, and then you have problems with rust and corrosion and safety problems with like seatbelts not working correctly and accidents and electrical issues causing fires. And then there's just the overall fit and finish. These things feel poor quality and cheap even though they are expensive trucks. Like the cheapest you can get into a new Gladiator is like $40,000. I would take a Honda Ridgeline over a Jeep Gladiator any day of the week, but they really do need to update the Ridgeline with that new look from the Passport. It would be a huge upgrade. Also, you can now subscribe to me directly through TikTok. The link is in my bio, and there's going to be subscriber exclusive content, so stay tuned.
A cracked visor, mirrors that stop working, rust forming around the hinges on a car that's supposed to handle the outdoors, a steering wheel so loose one owner called it terrifying, and a reviewer who runs down the whole list: engine, electrical, transmission, rust, seatbelts, and still can't recommend it over a Tacoma or a Ranger. At a starting price of $40,000, the trail-ready image is the one thing about these trucks that seems to actually hold up.
As some of you know, we bought a new Jeep back in November. And I've held off on making this video because I wanted to let my anger cool down a bit. The dealership really messed up, not once, not twice, but multiple times. And I really considered not making a video about this. But I am so tired of people charging a ridiculous amount of money and not doing the job they're supposed to. So next I'll put the dealership, and after that I'll put down what they did and didn't do. So this is the dealership, Auto Nation, Dodge and Jeep, and it's on the South Loop, just outside of Houston. And here's the list of everything they did and didn't do. Pause to read.
Just driving. Someone rear-ended me. My Jeep is fine. His car.
Okay, so I used to work at a Chrysler Jeep Dodge dealership from 2013 to 2017, and we had a lady come in one day that had a similar issue as this. She had been rear-ended at like 50, 60 miles an hour, and the rear end looked absolutely fine. She'd also been kind of shot put into the car in front of her, and the front end looked absolutely fine. She was complaining of a noise that she couldn't really get to do on command. It just was random. So we put it up on the lift and I started inspecting it. Well, it turns out that from this accident, her Jeep's tub had been shifted forward about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and it sheared off the back two body mounts. Because of the way it was sitting, it looked absolutely fine to the naked eye. That caused the front of the tub to hit the rear of the bell housing and engine and shove that forward, so it was stressing out both the engine mounts and the transmission mounts. Well, the two accidents somehow buckled the frame in a way that it kind of like did this in a way that you couldn't really see it unless you were underneath the car, and it had shoved the rear end forward, and it was just driving the drive shaft into the back of the transmission. So there was just so much tension on this whole drive line that when she was driving at certain speeds, it was just causing bindage that you couldn't recreate. So I can almost guarantee you your Jeep is not fine. But you know, hey, just drive it, see how long that lasts.
A dealership that gets the same repair wrong multiple times in a row, and a former dealership employee explaining how a Jeep can look completely fine after a wreck, while the frame's quietly shifted enough to jam the driveline, invisible unless you're underneath it, when even the people who used to work at these dealerships are telling you your Jeep probably isn't fine. That's not reassuring. That's a warning from the inside. Stellantis looked into this back in 2023 and closed the case. NHTSA didn't. Jeep owners, has your VIN come up for the fire recall yet? Drop it below and subscribe.